A group of armed people ambushed a young boy in the middle of the woods. They underestimated him because he used tree branch archery, but he managed to kill all 5 of them. The boy then cleared out all his belongings, not leaving anything behind. He murmured to himself, saying that things were different from what Darien had told him. The human world is so boring for him. A meeting was held, and the people are discussing the Demon King's traces that will possibly be left in the Forest of Roots. They were sure any living organism with demonic energy wouldn't be able to get past the barrier, so nothing would matter. The forest itself is covered in demonic energy, so it becomes a problem when they can't use such a huge piece of land. Someone suggested that if no one can come back safe, they should send in people who must die in the forest. It will be the best way to get rid of people they have trouble dealing with. One night, a mother was begging so that her child wouldn't be taken away. The people who took the baby claimed that a seed of darkness had sprouted within it. They did a ritual for the baby named Helmet. Root is a place of exile that no one has ever come back alive from. The criminals coming from any group would be dropped somewhere in the forest using divine magic, like they did to Helmet. But if they do manage to make it out alive, their sins will be forgiven. The existence of a baby, born with the seed of darkness, became a sin in and of itself. He was dropped into the demonic place, from which no one had returned alive. The forest was filled with demonic energy. Coldness and hunger treated the child harshly, but the energy from the seed that was embedded in the child's heart surged out of him and covered him. 10 days passed, and the child survived tenaciously. Instead of preying on him, the leopards took care of him, and since that day, the child's fate had been decided. 10 years later, he grew into an active boy. He hunts rabbits for his source of food. The leopard named Alaga showed him the rabbit's core, which is possessed by all demonic beasts. They grow stronger if they eat it, and it also supplements them with life energy and increases their lifespan. Helmet wanted to eat it, but the leopard said that he could become a demonic beast and live in the forest forever once he ate it. According to an old, strong human Elige met, there is a chance for humans to get out, so he told Helmet that he can get out. Hearing that, Helmet was excited to meet another human being and ran towards the place mentioned by Alaga. Helmet finally found a hut that can only be made by humans. Someone suddenly attacked him, pushing his head down onto the ground. Helmet told the old man, who attacked him, that Alaga told him about another human's presence in that forest. The man asked his intention, and Helmet said that he just wanted to get out of that forest. The man introduced himself as Darien. Helmet asked him how to get out of that forest. The man said that the outside world is not as beautiful or peaceful as he might think it is. The humans don't have sharp claws or fangs and have weak bodies. However, they are more cruel and cunning. They tend to join forces and betray each other when needed. People who were born with the seed of darkness, like Helmet, were usually killed as soon as they were born. Darien expected Helmet to come from a high point because he had been spared. Darien has a debt to repay to Alaga, so he told Helmet that as long as the seed of darkness is in his body, he will always be chased, even if he does not get out of this forest. He could also get killed fighting humans, so would Helmet still want to escape the forest? Helmet was persistent, so Darien decided to make the little boy a human. The first thing he needs to do to get out is get through the forest's barrier. Helmet needs to get stronger first, and after that, he needs to go see someone who knows how to get through it. Helmet was told to live in the hut and do human chores, and Darien also gave him clothes to wear. Darien will also teach him what the boy can and cannot eat, as well as how to cook. The root organisms all have a core, and even if they remove it, the demonic energy still remains. However, there is one thing that doesn't have demonic energy, and that's water. They can remove the core and purify the organism of its remaining demonic energy with the water. Helmet realizes now that even plants are edible. Helmet was told to do all sorts of chores, like bring water for days. He met Alaga along the way. They talked about the boy's plan to leave the forest. Alaga was saddened by it. Darien also makes Helmet do some exercises. He fed him cooked food after the boy got exhausted by the exercises. Helmet finds it delicious. Darien told him that there are limits to a human body, and that's why he's thinking of teaching him the way of the sword starting tomorrow. Darien showed Helmet what a sword is and told him to watch closely. The old man swung the piece of wood, and it looks like it's shining in Helmet's eyes. Darien began swinging the wood around, cracking the hard ground. That's how humans survive, according to Darien. Humans have an invisible source of power called vis. Helmet was excited to learn it, but Darien told him that his body isn't prepared to hold vis yet. The boy needs to understand the sword first. It will be difficult, miserable, and painful, but he must keep up without collapsing, and the sword will reward him for it. For days, Helmet was learning his body structure, and he complained about it. Darien asked him to address him properly, so he called him Sir. Darien told the boy that having a proper form isn't everything, so he needs to understand what's not explained by Darien. Darien found Helmet strange because, even though he has no appreciation for learning, he still grows faster than expected. The seed of darkness influences humans and makes them more prone to violence. On top of that, he grew up with the demonic beasts. Darien suddenly hit the boy twice and said that he had grown weaker. Helmet was asked to explain the difference. He thinks that the amount of pain was different, and the speed and places Darien hit were also different. Even though the movement was the same, Darien explained that simply imitating the outer appearance is not enough. The minuscule differences in his muscles, the tremors at his fingertips, the movement that follows speed and flow, and his understanding of mind and sword must come under his control. That way, he will truly understand the sword. Darien said that resting is also part of training, but Helmet finds it boring. He finally met Alaga, and according to the leopard, he had grown a bit. Alaga is the master of the Forest of Root's Central Territory, so Alaga allows Darien to live there. Alaga also saved him from the two-headed snake, Nahu. According to Alaga, Darien's strength was not known because humans can easily hide it. They don't know who's stronger between Alaga and Darien. The reason why Nahu hates Darien is because he destroyed the area that Nahu had built up as a human farm. Helmet was startled to see the human farm. People were forced to work, and there are also female humans, which Helmet has never seen before. The female humans were like food for Nahu. The snake prefers female humans because their meat is tender, and they don't have much muscle. But the small female humans are spared until they're big enough to be eaten. The males will be made slaves for life to maintain the space. The ones who maintain the farm are humans, and among them there's a leader named Erugo. He gathered people who were dropped in the forest. If Alaga hadn't saved him, Helmet would also be one of the slaves. They were about to go back when Nahu suddenly appeared before them. He wasn't doing anything, but Helmet felt great pressure due to his presence. Nahu was interested in Helmet as he sensed that the boy was somehow related to Darien. It has only been a few years since he destroyed his farm, so the snake is wary of Darien. Alaga told Nahu that Helmet just stole his clothes to wear. Alaga also warned him not to do anything to the boy, or the leopard would rip him to shreds. Nahu told them to go away from his territory, and Helmet fainted. The leopard reminded the boy that he should not travel alone, starting now that Nahu has seen him. Helmet started to wonder whether he could grow as strong as Alaga or Darien. Alasia admitted that Darien is at a level that most normal humans would not be able to reach. Alaga told Helmet to do his best if he wanted to get out of that forest. Helmet went with Darien. Alaga went home and promised to watch over them. One night, Helmet's stomach hurt so much he could not sleep. He was told to eat poisonous herbs before bed to help suppress the seed of darkness's power. While Helmet was in pain, Darien stood under the moon, murmuring something about a certain 4 years. As he continued to swing the sword through the trees, Helmet grew to enjoy it. His body feels light, and his vision seems clearer. It could be the demonic soil's effect. After months of consuming the herbs, it doesn't hurt anymore and feels refreshing. Darien reminded Helmet about Vis. They can't see the power, but if their body and its application aren't up to the basic level, training in Vis is pointless. Helmet's body seems ready to train in Vis now, so Darien will teach him how to train in Vis. Darien taught Helmet to melt the energy in the atmosphere into his body and control it freely to materialize it through his sword. That's how they control Vis. Helmet took the sword while absorbing nature's energy into him. Darien told him to think simply and move with composure while they spar so he wouldn't lose the flow. Darien attacked him one after another, and Helmet lost his composure so quickly. Darien told him to utilize his senses and take in more energy so he could feel the power. He wasn't perfect from the beginning, but it's okay since they're going to continue training like that from now on. Helmet managed to show Darien the will to train every day. 4 years later, after training, Helmet was able to cut down trees with such ease. Darien asked him to show him his Vis. Even though Darien said that he's still lacking, Helmet actually shows incredible growth at such a young age to be able to manifest Vis. Darien knew that the child would surely flip the world on its head, whether for good or evil. Darien feels like it's time to let Helmet go. Darien told Helmet that it was time for the boy to leave the forest. If his seed of darkness grows any more than this, he won't be able to pass through the divine barrier, so now is the only time. The human world lies beyond the southern edge of the forest of roots. Helmet has to pass through the divine barrier to get there. There is a certain area where it's weak, so in theory, he can pass through there to get to the human world. A human who can handle the weakened barrier should theoretically be able to pass. Darien himself hasn't found it, but someone else has. It is Erigo who handles the humans in Naho's village. After escaping the forest, Helmet will experience countless things in the human world. Darien assured him that for someone who has only lived in the forest, Helmet may find the outside world exciting and entertaining. Darien also reminded him that tragedy is not something he can stop just by having his guard up. It can't be avoided, so when the time comes, he will feel powerless, but he can't lose himself that way. Darien has no intention of coming with Helmet. He plans to take a nap and spend some time alone after being alone for so long. Tomorrow is the day he can finally leave the forest, but Elijah discovers Helmet is unhappy. He felt complicated, but according to the leopard, it's proof that he slowly became a human. In the morning, Helmet came to take his present from Darien. It was a sword and a bag. Darien's lifespan has already come to an end, and Helmet promised to remember him. He had told Eliba about it, so the leopard was not surprised. Elijah gave back the things Helmet wore when he got into the forest. It is a rare metal pendant made of pure gold that says, "Let there be light on your oath, Margaret Irene." Helmet needs to go to the human farm first. Alaga offered to help, but Helmet said he could manage it himself. They bid goodbye to each other. Helmet moved in the darkness and managed to hold Erugo hostage. Black magic is an evil power that can make even a seemingly weak mage strong. Among the numerous mages, there are people who will cross boundaries that they aren't meant to in order to gain stronger magic and power. Erugo was a mage who was always envious and jealous of others. He dreamed of becoming the strongest, but he chose the path of black magic because he felt that he wasn't talented enough. For his purposes, the dark emotions of humans were needed. Via activities like human trafficking and kidnapping, he was able to easily get the necessary materials. Erugo became more evil and powerful, as a result of the suffering and fear that emanated from his materials. However, because of a certain mage's pursuit, his atrocities were exposed to the world. He was captured and sentenced to death or exile. In order to avoid being executed right away, he chose the Forest of Roots. Eventually, he met the two-faced snake there. He was granted a portion of the snake's territory in exchange for his submission and sacrifices. Erugo used magic to assemble all of the humans who had been exiled to the forest. They had no choice but to submit in order to avoid being slaughtered by demonic beasts right away. And that's how the human farm was made. Erugo became the king of the farm, while other humans were treated like mere livestock. The true master of the territory, Nahu, never interfered with Erugo's work as long as he offered sacrifices. Thus, while serving Nahu, Erugo started to fulfill his ambitions once again. However, every winter, he couldn't help but be nervous as well. Because whenever Nahu went into hibernation, the demonic beasts in the area would attack the farm every day. Even in such an insignificant crisis, he had some form of satisfaction with his new life. With Helmet's sword around his neck, it is another winter crisis for Erugo. The boy asked him how to get out of the Forest of Roots. Erugo knew that he was Darien's disciple. He initially refused to tell him, but Helmet threatened to seize any recordings he had because mage are apparently obsessed with it. So Erugo is willing to comply. The method Erugo found is theoretical, so no one has ever tried it or even had the ability to try it. Darien could possibly do it, and Erugo figured that he must be dead since he's not there either. Erugo offered Helmet to be his successor and live there, but Helmet doesn't want anything from him. The boy asked him to just hand over the book he discovered in a mage's hideout before. The mage had talent in stealth magic. Unfortunately, he couldn't escape. Based on that book, there is a huge waterfall at the southern end of the forest. The water and demonic energy weaken the divine power at the same time. Helmet must be able to get past the barrier if he throws himself in there. The divine barrier is on the highest level, so anyone even with a little bit of demonic energy will turn into ashes. Erugo was spared, but Helmet tied him up and told him not to do bad things. Erugo woke Naho up from his deep sleep. He told them about Darien's death, and that the disciple was there. Naho decided to go after the boy to get rid of him. Seeing all the demonic beasts running away, Helmet knew that he was in great danger. He should have killed Erugo earlier. He ran like crazy, but he wasn't able to make it out of his territory. The whole place is engulfed by demonic energy. Naho appeared before him and greeted Helmet. The boy was told that he was a long-awaited guest for the snake. Helmet decided that he would leave after killing Naho. The snake underestimated Helmet and was about to eat him, but Helmet managed to dodge his attack. Their surroundings became dusty, and suddenly the snake was already circling Helmet. Helmet knew that his opponent was strong, so he had to look for opportunities to attack. Regardless of how strong his demonic energy is, there will be a spot where his vis can penetrate, and that is in his eye. The snake grunted in pain as Helmet struck his eye. Helmet was able to buy himself some time. It'd be great if he could defeat him, but that's the best he can do at his current skill level. He used up too much vis for that attack, so he'll die if he keeps fighting. Helmet needs to escape fast, but the snake was appalled. The snake got rid of its head, whose eye was useless. Helmet managed to hide after getting hit by the snake's attack. It will be harder for the snake to see now because of his lost head. Helmet managed to buy some time to hurry and escape, but the snake found him and was about to eat him alive. Suddenly, Alaga came to rescue Helmet. The demonic energy Helmet sensed was from Alaga. Alaga asked him to go and leave the rest to the leopard. Helmet was about to refuse, but Alaga reminded him to go and find his freedom. Helmet thanked the leopard for everything and left the place. Naho was mad that the leopard dared to stop him in his own territory, so now they have to fight against each other. Helmet has been running for days since he passed Alaga's territory. He was able to defeat any demonic beast that wasn't on the same level as Naho. He realized that he wouldn't be able to survive in that place if he hadn't met Alaga and Darien. He only has one chance now, and he must get out of that forest for Alaga and Darien's efforts to not be wasted. The place he's in right now is different from Alaga's territory. He almost can't feel any demonic energy, and the seed of darkness is also irritated. It could be reacting to the divine barrier. Helmet had covered it with a hood, so he was not in trouble. Along the way, he found a feather. It belongs to a demonic beast bird named Wygriel, the ruler of the south, and Helmet is in his territory now. The boy didn't expect that there was a demonic beast so close to the divine barrier. Alaga had said that Wygriel's curiosity is extremely strong. The beast could sense Naho's blood and Alaga's scent on Helmet. Helmet told the beast that he's Alaga's kin, but he's not there on Alaga's order. Helmet said that he has his own reasons that could be meaningful for Wygriel as well. He's going to be the first human to cross the barrier and make it out of the forest of roots. Wygriel laughed at the seemingly weak human because Helmet still has seeds of darkness in him. Helmet still desired to be the first human to attempt to flee. But Wygriel does not want to risk burning a prey. Helmet warned that the beast can always find humans dropped there, but the only person who'll try to escape is him. Wygriel was eager to see him try. If Helmet succeeds, Wygriel will be the first demonic beast to witness it. Wygriel will protect him with power until Helmet reaches the barrier. No matter what the result is, Helmet wanted Wygriel to tell Alaga that he survived and made it out of the forest, and Wygriel agreed. Helmet ran towards the barrier and kept on moving forward underwater. Divinity is the power of purification that protects humans and rejects impurity. That power is penetrating through Helmet as he tries to go past the barrier. He has never felt pain like that before, and he can't maintain his consciousness. To demonic beasts he's a human, but to humans he has turned into a demonic beast. He wonders where exactly he's supposed to go. A group of people were lurking near the forest of roots. They're resting after a long trip. One of the members named Finn was told to get water, and he found Helmet passed out. Finn told his acquaintances that there was a dead body in the ravine, but no one believed him. Finn leads the way to where Helmet was. They finally see Helmet, and one of them realizes he's not dead yet. Helmet started to wake up. They told him that he's safe now, but Helmet told them that he does not remember anything except his name. Among the people is Tanya, a rank 3 silver medal mercenary of the Pace Mercenary Corps. They informed Helmet that he was now in the Decay Forest. Helmet told them that he knows how to wield a sword. Tanya told him that he'd be responsible for Helmet now, and the boy thanked him. Helmet barely survived, and it's going to take some time for him to recover. He's now in a worse state than when he first started training. The seed of darkness is still within him. Maybe that's why he's not dead yet. But since he's now in the world of humans, he can't let them find out that he has the seed of darkness. That's why he pretended to have lost his memory. He also needs to find the owner of the pendant he has. Slowly but surely, everyone was surprised to see Helmet become different after washing up. He looks like a noble. He's treated as a newbie in their mercenary corps. They'll be at a village in 4 days, so Helmet can see a doctor then. Soon they'll be leaving. The mercenary corps members are still fascinated by Helmet's stamina, and looking at him, they wonder if he was a noble. Finn also finds the way Helmet speaks pretty odd. Helmet looked exhausted, but he still refused to get on the carriage. Helmet also finds it weird that he gets tired easily, unlike when he was in the forest. The doctor said that there wasn't anything wrong with him. Helmet has a sturdy constitution, so he can recover quickly. Tanya doubted the doctor and asked him to diagnose the boy properly, offending the doctor. The doctor also said that his memories will probably return sooner or later because there's nothing wrong with Helmet's head. He told them to take the medicine and go. Tanya was so angry at the doctor. Tanya asked Helmet whether he was really okay. He told her that he feels fine now after taking the medicine and resting at the inn. Tanya asked Helmet about his sword ability and proposed a duel with him. It may loosen up his body, and he may get his memories back. Considering Tanya is a rank 3 silver medal mercenary, and a person of that caliber is apparently quite respected in the human world, Helmet agreed to it. They went to a place where the mercenary corps members train their physical abilities. Some were mocking Helmet for having a duel with Tanya, saying that he would hurt his face, but Tanya punched their faces instead. The rule is that they go until one of them falls to the ground. Tanya told Helmet that he can come to her with everything he has. She's the vice captain of the mercenary corps, so he should be wary. Helmet is still not at his best, and he can't use Vis either. So rather than confronting her with sheer strength, he will have to fight while redirecting her attacks. Helmet attacked her left waist, but Tanya managed to parry it easily. He concluded that she was above him in strength. When it was time for Tanya to attack, Helmet couldn't follow the dodging movements he had planned. It felt like he was underwater. Helmet was frustrated that he lost against Tanya. The girl had incomparably more openings compared to Darien, but her swordsmanship is not very efficient either. When someone approached Helmet, he was rethinking the human world that Darien had told him about. The guy said that Tanya is a distinguished fighter, even in their mercenary corps. It's normal that Helmet lost, but some were even surprised at how good he is. When he tried to penetrate her defenses earlier, he could have succeeded if he had a bit more strength. The guy is Fion, the captain of the Pace Mercenary Corps and a rank 2 gold medal mercenary. Fion congratulated Helmet for passing the entrance exam. He offered to take Helmet with them as a member of the Mercenary Corps. It's a team that no one can join, which is why people kept an eye on Helmet as he approached town. Tanya is Fion's sister. Since Helmet didn't cause any trouble, everyone agreed to let him in. Helmet is given a temporary rank 4 mercenary certificate to register himself in the Mercenary Guild. Now that Helmet is officially a comrade, everyone greets him. There are Byrne, Yuta, and Maros. Fion said that Helmet is free to leave the Corps whenever he likes, but he has to stay with them when they request him to. Helmet still has a hard time trusting, but it's better for now to stay there than to wander aimlessly. He also wants to know what it means to be comrades. The Corps is discussing letting Helmet join an important mission, but Sir Miles thinks a 4-rank mercenary cannot participate in it. Fion assured him that Helmet would be useful. The man agreed as long as they accepted responsibility for their words. Since they don't tell him that the Corps will be adding a member in advance, Sir Miles will only pay a third of the price for Helmet. The Tariq Mercenary Corps will also be joining them. The request they will be taking tomorrow is a large-scale escort request. Even if they get ambushed, rank 4s don't need to fight unless it's an urgent situation. They're not sure about what or who they'll be escorting, so it's hard to predict the strength of the ambushes. Helmet was told that if the Tariq Corps tries to pick a fight with him, he needs to ignore them. They don't have a good relationship because the Mercenary Corps have a good reputation. Helmet was angry. He doesn't want to use his not fully recovered condition as an excuse. There were many openings during the duel, but he wasn't able to stab faster than Tanya. He is currently weak and he needs to get back into shape, just like the first time he trained. The request has begun and they were promised a lot of money. They have to work and return safely. Finn was teasing Helmet for being a weakling, but he wasn't amused. Sir Miles welcomed the Corps. They were given items that they will be guarding. The Pace Mercenary Corps will take the rear. The other guys were from the Tariq Mercenary Corps. One of them was mocking from the other side. Helmet wondered whether he was the leader, so he should keep an eye on him until the request is over. A few days later, the Tariq members keep on bullying Finn. They had noticed how Helmet had been ignoring him from the beginning. The bully was also a rank 4 who dropped from rank 3 because he got into trouble. His second-ranking brother was in command of him. Helmet has irritated the bully and he intends to punish him. It has barely been 3 days and Finn is angry that the Tariq members keep harassing him without pause. The name of the main bully is Caleb and Finn doesn't know that the guy has been dropped to rank 3, which is why he felt unfair. Everyone is starting to get nervous and the bullying doesn't help at all. Finn kept on complaining as he went to get the water before going to sleep. It will be hard to sleep once they get to the area where demonic beasts appear. Tariq mercenary corps members approached Finn, who was getting the water, and asked to speak with him. In reality, they just beat him and teased him about Helmet's gender. Helmet was then brought there as well. Helmet started comparing how humans are the same as demonic beasts when they fight for a higher hierarchy. Helmet put all his effort into recovering, but he still can't use Vis. He knew the guys he'd be up against would be weaker than Tanya, so he'd play defense and attack the weak one first. If he can't hold out against them, he will use Darien swordsmanship. The bully wanted to grab Helmet and strip him, but Tanya came to his rescue. She asked why the Tariq Corps was bothering her comrades. The bully acted like they didn't do anything wrong, so Tanya got angry. She told Helmet to take Finn back, and Caleb told his fellow 4 rank to leave him. Tanya taunted him for being a 4th rank now, and he was offended. She also warned them not to bother any of her members again. Finn was crying on the way home. Tanya saved them despite the fact that it is an unwritten rule not to interfere in fights between rank 4s. Helmet continues to practice at night to get back in shape. He is fine now, but he still can't use Vis. Vis, according to Darien, is like water, and the body is the vessel that holds it. There's no point in training if the body isn't up to basic standard. Everyone noticed that the demonic beast frequently appeared in the region they're in now. They are told not to do individual activities without company. Helmet can't train alone, so he just prays that Vis returns before the seed of darkness starts going rampant. Finn has a bizarre imagination about demonic beasts. Helmet stated that he believes some beasts are frightening, but others are not. 2 guys in that mission were getting water when a demonic beast suddenly appeared before them and killed one of them. Other mercenaries were shocked to see a horrible demonic beast come out of nowhere. The other guy tried to attack, but he was killed as well. Finn didn't expect that it would come so fearlessly when there were so many mercenaries around. The beast suggested to his friends that they come out as well. Antonia noticed it. She told everybody to get ready, but Finn and Helmet were told not to get involved and to hide under the carriage instead. Helmet was frustrated that he couldn't use his Vis yet. He was aware of the presence of additional demonic beasts. The one they're facing is not as strong as Alaga or Niho, but it's still strong. Using his Vis, Finn led the mercenaries to attack the large demonic beast. The small ones are coming to the other mercenaries, but the 3 ranks easily defeat them. Finn and Max cut it down as soon as they saw the opening. Helmet was amazed by them because they were stronger than he thought. The rank 2 mercenaries who know how to use Vis are keeping the leader busy while the rest do what they need to do in their own way. The small ones are all defeated and Finn can defeat one more using his Vis. Unfortunately, the remaining beast ran away. They decide against pursuing it and instead examine the injured. Helmet watches how they collect the demonic beast's corpses. Things like demonic skin and the seed of darkness can be sold for a high price. Morrow showed Helmet the seed of darkness he found in their corpses. Based on what they know, the seed will dominate a human's mind when it's inside and turn them into demonic beasts. They haven't seen someone like that because of the rule. Those people are sent to the forest of roots anyway. That's how people on the outside think. Darien said that as long as one has the seed of darkness, they'll definitely die fighting humans. Helmet wondered whether he would become a demonic beast and fight humans. The reason why Darien taught him how to use Vis was so that he could suppress the seed of darkness within him. He should hide the seed or he will get in trouble. When Finn and Helmet were collecting the corpses, they were shocked to see that one of the beasts turned out to be alive still. As soon as he sees the still-moving demonic beast, Helmet draws his sword and slashes it dead. He felt different from when he was training, it felt like he had become unclogged somewhere. So he wondered whether his Vis had returned. The other guys are praising Helmet for his fast reflex, but Tanya was stunned. She felt like she saw something emerging from Helmet's hand at that time. Helmet meditates at night. He's sure now that his Vis has finally returned. The blade he swung instinctively had brought out Vis. Helmet is called back because the mercenaries are deciding the night watch order. They will stand guard in groups of 2 with 3 shifts. Helmet and Tanya, Finn and Maros, Sin and Burn in that order. Yute was injured so he will be excused. After their shift, Tanya told Helmet to wake up the next group so that they could rest. Helmet can detect the demonic beast that fled in the morning. The demonic beasts are waiting until everyone is asleep, so Helmet decided to look out for them by himself, just in case. He will take this time to recover his Vis as well. The bully from Tariq, Caleb, sees Helmet walking alone. He took the chance and decided to follow him. Helmet could sense it from behind him when the bully called him out. Caleb confronted him because he felt belittled because Helmet had been ignoring him since the request began. He's going to take the opportunity to take revenge since no one is going to come and save Helmet again. Helmet told Caleb to live like a human and not a demonic beast. He even called him out by his name. Rank 4, Mercenary of Tariq, Mercenary Corps. It made Caleb angry. He broke his own hand trying to beat Helmet, but Helmet managed to grab and twist the bully's hand. The bully was shocked by Helmet's strength. Helmet told the guy to choose his opponent wisely if he wanted to establish a hierarchy. Caleb tried to attack Helmet, but Helmet accidentally used his sword to strike the bully's legs. Caleb was injured. If Helmet leaves him there, his identity will be found out. He has an epiphany and decides to murder the man. The seed of darkness inside him made him feel like he'd become a demonic beast. He assured himself that he was just Helmet. Caleb had gone running away, still in shock that Helmet was actually that strong. Unfortunately, he met the demonic beast that ran away that morning. Helmet heard him screaming in fear from far away. Helmet faced the demonic beast confidently, as he's now strong enough to fight it. The beast backed off as if sensing that Helmet was a strong opponent. Helmet told the demonic monster to take Caleb away and get lost, and so it did. Helmet is sure that it will be back again, and now he needs to think of how to explain the situation first. Everyone concludes that Caleb is now dead. His comrades are in mourning, and the captain apologized to Helmet on behalf of the Tariq Mercenary Corps, as he was being bullied by Caleb. Tanya doesn't accept the apology easily. She blamed them for not supervising their members properly. Caleb's brother was appalled because he felt like Tanya had insulted both Caleb and their whole corps. They were about to fight some more when they were stopped. The Tariq Mercenary Corps is at fault, but the Pace Mercenary Corps should watch their words. As compensation, Caleb's request fee to Helmet. There are already 3 people dead, so they have to think about how to deal with the demonic beasts. Helmet was scolded by Tanya for wandering alone. She's planning to not let Helmet travel alone again. Helmet felt weird being scolded by Tanya. It reminded him of Darien. They were both cold and warm at the same time. Helmet promised to be careful from now on. The next day, they continued their journey. They have to get out of that forest as soon as possible to avoid other demonic beasts in their way. Unfortunately, they encounter the same kind of demonic beasts as the day before. There's still many, and Helmet can feel their energy well, although some of them are far away from him. They're sending demonic beasts to the core little by little. The mercenaries were all exhausted, and some of them suffered minor injuries, including Maros and Sin. Fion thought that Finn and Helmet were doing better than he expected. Helmet can look after Finn, since he knows how to use a sword, and Finn is at least good at dodging. Strangely, the demonic beasts are targeting only the Pace Mercenary Corps. The other corps has lost 3 people, and they wouldn't likely help them due to their fight yesterday. Fion hopes everyone can make it out alive. The Tariq Mercenary Corps member talked to Paul about how the demonic beasts only attack other corps. The leader of the beasts must be planning something. The member suggested that they should help out, but Paul doesn't agree. He wanted to use this opportunity to aim for efficiency, not just safety. What Paul of the Tariq Mercenary Corps means by efficiency is simple. While the Pace Mercenary Corps distracts the demonic beasts, the rest quickly escape from the forest. According to Paul, they're in charge of the important items anyway. So Miles was angry, and he questioned the Tariq Mercenary Corps' morality. Paul managed to convince them that the most important thing was their survival. He offered an alternative so that Miles wouldn't have to compensate everyone for all the goods and lives lost in the worst-case scenario. The Pace Mercenary Corps members and horses have been exhausted for a while now. They also have no idea how far they still have to go. The Tariq Mercenary Corps doesn't help out. Suddenly, they even speed up, leaving the Pace Mercenary Corps behind. Fion realized that their corpses were used as bait so that the Tariq members could escape. As soon as they have fewer forces, the demonic beasts come and surround the Pace Mercenary Corps. Helmet wondered how many of them could survive in that situation. Fion told everyone to stand by and get ready for the attacks. If Helmet acts now, people will find out who he is and where he came from. But it no longer matters for Helmet. Everyone is in danger. Just this once, Helmet will try trusting humans. Helmet told everyone that what he's going to do now is a secret. He used this to attack the demonic monsters one by one simultaneously, all by himself, leaving everyone speechless. Everyone thinks it was a miracle that Helmet managed to kill so many demonic beasts. The leader ran away when it saw its subordinates die. Fion asked what is wrong with Helmet, but Helmet simply said that his body has healed. Tanya is now certain that she did not see it incorrectly at the time. Helmet asked whether everyone was alright, but they were still too stunned to speak. Fion wonders how Helmet is able to manifest this at such a young age, when even he, a rank 2, can't do it. He asked Helmet where he had learned swordsmanship. Helmet still can't trust the human to tell the whole truth, so he only said that he remembers living with a master in a forest. The Pace Mercenary Corps needs to get out of that forest first. Fion asked Helmet what he would do later. Helmet promised to stay until they got out of the forest, but he doesn't know what happens after that. He also hasn't gotten his share of money yet. The Corps decided to chase after the ones who went ahead first. The members' bodies felt light after resting, and their injuries are healed. Tanya keeps tracking down the Tariq Mercenary Corps. It looks like they ran all night. According to the original plan, they should take a break at the first village after the forest, so they'll probably meet there. Some members are still angry, and they plan to take revenge in that village. They also wonder what will happen to the request now that they only got one food carriage instead of the important stuff. Helmet suddenly heard some noises. He told everyone that he senses demonic energy gathering. It could be the Tariq Mercenary Corps having a battle. Helmet predicted that it's about an hour away from where they're at, and the leader of the demonic beasts is also there. Fion was amazed by Helmet's ability. Helmet said that it will take less time if they hurry, and Tariq should be able to hold on until they get there. Some members are still vengeful about what happened, but Fion reminded them that they're mercenaries, so they have to finish the request. They need to take care of it first before dealing with the Tariq Mercenary Corps. They're different from the Tariq anyway, so they will secure the client and the goods. The Tariq Mercenary Corps was having a hard time defending itself against the demonic beasts. Paul couldn't believe that the beasts would chase after them so persistently, thinking that they already had the Pace Mercenaries Corps. Paul was planning to run away with Max, leaving everyone else behind. Everyone will die at the hands of the beast leader, so their reputation will be safe. When Paul and Max told them to disperse and then ran away, everyone was taken aback. Sir Miles was also left stunned. He realized that he had trusted the wrong people. He was about to be killed by the demonic beast, but Helmet came to rescue him from the beast. Helmet arrives at the location of the Tariq Mercenary Corps just in time to save Sir Miles from being killed. He managed to save the client. He was told that he should go ahead of the other Pace members. Fion had a bad feeling because Tariq had already betrayed them once. If Helmet had been there any later, all the merchants would have been killed. Now that he has his vengeance, Helmet can face the demonic beast leader without worry. He used his sword and vis to fight it. It was the strongest demonic beast he had met outside the forest. Helmet doesn't let his guard down as he fights. Suddenly, the demonic energy of his opponent got even stronger, as if it were absorbing all the demonic energy around it. The Pace Mercenary Corps will be there soon. If they try and run in to help, they may end up in danger, so Helmet plans to end it as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, the demonic beast leader was resilient. It won't work with Helmet's usual fighting strength, so he adds more power to it. The leader has become even faster, and its claws have grown new ones. It will be bothersome if Helmet doesn't kill it in one slash. Helmet's clothes were ripped as he fought the demonic beast, so he thinks he should buy some new ones in town. In the end, the demonic beast leader even consumed the other demonic beasts. Helmet suddenly sees the pattern of the beast's attack. It is the same attack pattern as Naho. Even if it absorbs all the demonic energy there is, it will still be weaker than Naho. Helmet then bravely attacks the leader until it's finally dead. The Pace Mercenary Corps rushed towards Helmet, and they were surprised to see that he had defeated all of the demonic creatures himself. All of the Tariq Mercenary Corps members who were present have died. Fion concluded that their captain had abandoned them and fled on his own. Tanya said that they're bastards who didn't have loyalty or a sense of responsibility in the first place. They found that Sir Miles, their client, had survived. Sir Miles is finally awake, thinking it was the afterlife. As soon as he sees Fion, he apologizes for abandoning their whole corps. He admitted that he was threatened by Paul. He was stunned to realize that he wasn't dead yet. Fion didn't explain the whole thing because Helmet asked to keep it secret. Since the Pace Mercenary Corps saved his life, they demanded 80 of the profit. They managed to continue the request after all, despite his betrayal. Sir Miles bargained to decrease it by 10. But Fion said that it's his problem to compensate those who die. If he doesn't want that, Sir Miles can go all by himself from there. In the end, he agreed. Fion asked about the truth of the goods they're guarding. According to Esser Miles, it will be the end of the Bhutan Merchant Association if the news gets out. The Pace Mercenary Corps might get wrapped up in danger as well if they know the truth, but Fion insisted on knowing. The client they're heading to meet right now is a mage known as Antiol, the Archmage. The goods are things that can't go through inspection or surveillance. The origin of the goods that they're transporting is a place that mages aren't permitted to visit, the Temple of Lumen. The temple's power exceeds one's imagination. The group that defeated the Demon King 1,000 years ago is still going strong. They were a group that protected the world from demonic energy at the time. But they're far from what they used to be now. They're gathering wealth and power in the name of protection. Most of the kingdoms are under control as the price for borrowing divine power, but they're unable to control magicians. Esser Miles is sure that they're looking out for the chance to get their hands on them. If the temple finds out, the Bhutan Merchant Association delivered an item from the temple to a mage. It would be destroyed due to the conflict. Edel once saved the leader of their association before, so they can't refuse the request. Helmet was curious about Edel. A few years ago, the divine barrier was almost destroyed. It detected the mana from mages, so the temple ended up restricting the mages. They sought freedom by almost destroying the barrier, but the temple covered up the incident. Helmet now understands why he was sent to the Forest of Roots. The temple was unable to remove the seed of darkness within him using the divine power. He wonders if magic would be able to do so. Helmet hoped that this mage would be different from the black mage he saw in the Forest of Roots. They finally get out of the demonic beast's territory. They decided to camp, since it was hard to go any further due to the setting sun. Fiend asked to talk with Helmet for a moment. He gave Helmet something expensive to eat, one that swordsmen eat when their vigor or stamina is depleted. Helmet's body is getting warm, suggesting that it was effective. Fiend thanked Helmet for protecting the Pace Mercenary Corps. He swears in the name of the Pace Mercenary Corps that they will help him out whenever he needs it. Helmet gladly accepted the gratitude, since they're now trustworthy comrades. The Pace Mercenary Corps and Miles finally arrived at the location according to the map.